Apparently my ADHD is not only bad today, but it's been bad for a little while because on this page,
yes,
keeps changing. On this page, I wrote wasted time. And then also time wasted. And then Brazil, 1985, what do I remember? And then there's a bunch of blank space. And then on the next page, I wrote Brazil, 1985. What do I remember? And then all the notes. So it's a red letter week for me.
Apparently you wasted time by starting notes that you never finished.
Yeah.
Making templates.
Or by not continuing the notes that I started, however we want to say that. Hello, and welcome to the I Love You Bet podcast. I'm Heather, and this is my sister,
Rian. Each week, we will revisit relics of our childhoods using our multiple master's degrees
to critically evaluate the crap that consumed our misspent youth. So join us,
sisters, latchkey kids, cuspers, and lazy feminists as we look back at our past to say, I love you, but...
But would you like to hear some ways that that I wasted time or that my time was wasted?
Sure. Go for it.
Awesome.
Always.
Unless you have a burning need to tell me something.
No, I have no burning need to tell you anything.
That's good. Thank you for allowing me time to find the set piece that I needed to send to you. Okay, so part of my time was wasted being sad because last week our mother said, Facebook told me that Catherine O'Hara died.
Yeah.
And I wasn't that sad at first because for some reason I didn't hear Catherine, I heard Maureen. And I was like, oh, that's sad. But she was like old as hell, right? Like,
I'm like, that bitch is already dead.
And then I realized, oh, she means Catherine O'Hara. And that makes me sad, particularly because while we were trapped in with the ice, I had started a rewatch for me, first watch for Mom and Eddie of Schitt's Creek. Because that's 5 seasons of quality TV to eat up a bunch of time. And the episode that day, one of the ones that we had watched, was when David is at the party and he meets the really cute guy that he and Stevie both end up dating the guy.
Oh, yeah.
And then he meets the guy and they kind of have a moment. And then he's in the backyard later and the guy comes up and he's like, hey, what are you doing? And he is like, oh, I'm just out here shame eating. And the guy was like, what's shame eating? David goes, well, we don't have time to go into all of that. So that always makes me happy.
Yes. I could write a dissertation on that topic.
So speaking of television, did I tell you that last week, Emily Gilmore texted me and Mom?
A friend of Emily Gilmore?
Emily Gilmore from television's Gilmore Girls texted me and Mom.
Did not tell me that. Please tell me more.
Would you like to hear the text transcript?
Yeah, I would love to hear the text transcript.
Okay, so I can't do an Emily Gilmore impression, but Emily said, how about you 3 come over tomorrow for an early dinner? Maybe 5? I'll order me ranchito. Take a look at their weekend menu, including seafood. And I said, we would love to, but we will actually be at Total Wine for a tasting event. It starts at 5. Thanks for the invite. You are so sweet. And Emily said, what time does it end? And I said, 6:30. We would need to go let the dogs out after. And she said, want to do it Sunday? I said, I think Elaine is having people over for music. she tends to let them stay for more than a while. And she said, okay, and that was it. And then because I'm an idiot, I texted Emily Gilmore back and said, Monday or Tuesday evening? And she said, seafood menu not available during the week. Closed Monday. Tuesday is 100 Denton nights. And then I said, maybe Elaine can weigh in tomorrow. Because the whole time that Emily Gilmore was texting me and Elaine Davis, our mother, Elaine Davis was sitting 6 feet away from me, ignoring her phone because she was drunk. And Emily Gilmore said, let me know. And that is the end of that text chain. So Elaine Davis completely ignored Emily Gilmore, which was the correct thing to do from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say, I think we don't want to come and have dinner with you.
It wasn't really that. It was more like, I am offering to let you come and have dinner, but only at the place that I want to have it, while they have the thing that I want. Specific days. Just like so freaking stupid.
And yet not at all surprising.
No, I mean, Emily Gilmore is Emily Gilmore. She's always going to be Emily Gilmore. There was no reason for me to be surprised by any of that. I mean, my microphone is like switching back and forth and it's making me crazy. How did you waste time this week? Did you get any texts from Emily Gilmore?
No, the only texts I ever get from Emily Gilmore are pictures of her grandchild, air quotes.
Yeah.
So, which I usually don't react to. Let's see. How did I waste time? I've had a lot of time.
You know better than to encourage Emily Gilmore.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Shit. Did you see the thing, though? Related. I'll tie it back.
Go ahead.
Apparently, Yale has a new thing where, like, they're making tuition free for anybody who qualifies, who's poor.
Yeah.
Somebody posted that they were like, oh, man, Lorelai wouldn't have had to sit through all those family dinners.
I mean, but no, she would have, because remember, that's not accurate. We won't get into the history of Gilmore Girls, but that's funny but inaccurate.
This is not a Gilmore Girls podcast.
This is not there's enough of those. I'll save that for Gilmore Girls trivia night. Anyways, I've had a lot of time to waste because I haven't been to work in 2 weeks because it snowed 2 weeks ago. And apparently our city doesn't understand how to remove ice and snow. So fingers crossed. I'm not really sure. I'm on the fence of whether we have school or don't have school tomorrow. So yes, lots of time to waste. But how did I waste time? I've watched a lot of things. So I watched the new Bridgerton that came out, the 4 episodes. And I don't know if it's me or if it's the things, probably both, but I keep getting excited about the new things coming out and like, oh, yay, something that's going to, help me forget about all the bullshit that's happening in the world, making me sad and depressed all the time. And they've all just been disappointing. So, it just like the first episode, I was just like, oh, it was just boring. It was so boring.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So, I mean, I powered through. I watched all of them. They're fine. I watched His and Hers, which I wasn't necessarily excited about. I did enjoy texting you with my guesses of who'd done it. But even then, it was just like, meh. Yeah. Especially because like all the people were just horrible. So I don't know. Started watching the new season of Lincoln Lawyer that just dropped, and meh. Getting better. It's getting better. At least that I like a little bit because it makes me think of like my mock trial kids in class. And so the creativity of his lawyering is great. I did also teach myself to do some advanced social media-ing. influencery stuff because I wanted to like do the thing where you like have a video, but then you have your like head floating while you talk about the video. And I didn't know how to do that. And before I figured it out, I was like, well, I still have my old phone. So, because it's like a YouTube video. So it's like, how do I record a YouTube video onto my phone? So I was like, well, I have my old phone. So I got that out to charge it. Like I was going to like put the two phones together and like record the YouTube video playing on one phone with the other phone. And luckily I did not have to do that because the internet helped me figure out how to do it. And I did the thing and it's fine. And I have not become an overnight internet sensation or influencer. And then the other thing that I have been doing, I've talked to her mother a lot. I've talked to her like 3 times this week. So that's good. I talked to her the other day and told her a whole thing about like the journaling that I've been doing and stuff.
What happened to your plarn?
It's still, right now, it's just turned into a thing the cats play with to piss Ben off at night. So it's on pause. I did go to Barnes & Noble yesterday to get like, I needed a new planner because that's how I've been spending my time. I now have like a finance planner, a work planner, and my journal.
Wow.
The home calendar that's up on the wall. But I needed a new work planner. I went to Barnes & Noble to get that. And then I also bought a like magazine book thing of paper like to use. And anyways, okay. Brazil.
Are you going to make a planner to keep track of all your planners? Or
I could, but no. They're all tracked together right now. I have a lot of things going on. Okay.
It sounds like it. You're collaging and being very involved with the kitten and, talking to our mother. I have nothing going on. Oh, wait, no. I have all this other shit going on. That's so boring, and I'm not going to talk about it. What do I remember about Brazil? I'm trying with these to really focus on, like, ways that it's had some kind of impact on my life, because like just saying things that happen to it is kind of not that interesting, but definitely from the movie, like multiple endings, the billboards, Mona from Who's the Boss, remembering her. Yeah. And the tubes everywhere. And then this was a really easy way to impress film dudes. Like they're real into it when you're like, oh, and I like Brazil, and I like blah, 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 blah. If you have a desire and you don't want to just talk about Star Wars.
Are these the film dudes that are like a step above the like Star Wars film dudes?
It's both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a Venn diagram on that one.
Love a Venn diagram.
You know what I forgot?
What?
This is a Christmas movie.
I was going to ask you, is this a Christmas movie?
The only reason I think that it counts according to your definition of is this a Christmas movie is the scene with Mrs. Buttle where he goes to deliver the check, which is arguably the best scene in the entire movie.
What about that scene do you think is what makes it a Christmas movie?
Because he says, we wanted to make sure that you had this check, especially because it's Christmas.
Yeah. Well, and that's my thing is like, there's so many things like the constant gift giving, right? And so again, just to remind you, dear listeners, what my definition of a Christmas movie is that if the movie can take place at any other time of the year without major deterring the plot or the story, then it is not a Christmas movie.
Correct.
Which is why Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. I will fight people on that. So, and then I was thinking last night when I wrote, is this a Christmas movie in my notes to ask you was, well, if Die Hard's a fucking Christmas movie, then this definitely is. So this may become our new Christmas movie, especially, as the continued collapse of democracy.
Oh, no, I can't watch this movie again for a while. No.
Yeah, same. I don't know that I can ever watch this movie again because of what I did not remember.
Yeah, I can watch it again, but not right away. It was traumatizing to watch. And I believe that one of the conversations you had with your mother this week involved her trauma from watching it. But before we get into that, what do you remember? You said you've watched it within the last few years, or what did you forget that is?
So I definitely watched this in the last like 3 to 4 years because I remembered from last time I watched it, and again this time, being like, oh my God, what an amazing example of bureaucracy.
Yep.
Like, I wish I could show this in my AP government class to have them understand, because they have no idea what the concept of bureaucracy is or means or anything like that. I've shifted away from that because like, I'm like, you know what? It's not that I need to teach them about like how hard it is to get things done. They need to understand more what our federal bureaucracy does. But anyways, and I was telling Mom when I talked to her today, referencing our conversation yesterday about her take on the movie, was that I'm always, again and again, I'm just so amazed at how good our brains are at protecting ourselves from things. And like how we can just forget just forget things that would cause us some kind of mental harm, because while I didn't remember a whole lot, one thing that I definitely did not remember was the fucking creepy baby peasant puppets.
Yeah.
Which
that's
made me
why
realize,
I told you when I texted you and said this is a daytime movie, it was because the puppets were the baby master.
I realized that as soon as they showed up.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, whatever. Like I knew it was going to be depressing because of our current political climate.
Yeah.
But I was like, whatever, Heather. Or like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I was thinking like, you know, I'm more distracted at night or whatever. And yeah.
No, I was trying to protect your anxiety level.
I know, but because I couldn't remember them, I didn't realize that at the time. But as soon as they fucking showed up, I was like, oh, that text makes a lot of sense. While I was also going like, nope, and like fast forwarding with my shirt over my face.
My sister isn't judging me. She's trying to protect me.
Well, I know now. And I always, like, I wasn't upset. I was just like, okay. Because I have come to a point where I know and I accept everything we say to each other as coming from a place of love and protection, not judgment and criticism. I'm trying to get our mother on board with that, but whatever. Yeah.
Hold on one moment. Sorry, friends of Mom. This is a real mom shitting on Mom episode, but she's been a lot lately. So earlier this week, you know, like we moved Eddie into the new place, and the new place, of course, promised everything's going to be great. And these old bitches just sit in the living room and watch Little House on a Prairie all day. Half the time, the planned activities don't happen. And yes, the food is really, really good, but it is not $5,000 a month worth of good, right? And so I'm like, fuck, do I have to move him back to the other place and just keep doing what I'm doing to supplement? And like, I can get like, do like a hodgepodge of like, oh, hold on. Fuck. The neighbor's revving the motorcycle. I don't know how long this is going to go on.
Can I talk or no?
All right. You talk.
Yeah. So Mom, can I talk about what Mom said to me about the movie? Yeah. Okay. So yesterday I called her while we were going down to the farm. Then just out of nowhere, she goes, I did not like Brazil. And I was like, oh, okay. And I don't think I really thought anything about it. Like, I never know what Mom's going to like or dislike. You know, she's very fickle like that. But she was like, it just reminded me of 2001, The Space Odyssey. Oh, she didn't tell you this? Oh, my God. Okay. I was like, I don't know if I can talk about it because Heather, I'm sure she had the same conversation and forgot. No. So she's like, it just remembers like 2001 Space Odyssey. And I just remember how much your dad loved 2001. And then when we were dating, there was like a Stanley Kubrick festival. And he was so excited to take me because he wanted me to see 2001, A Space Odyssey. But she didn't say that. She just kept saying 2001. And so they went to the movie and they, saw it. And she's like, and then we'd go see a movie and then we'd go and get something to eat and we'd talk about the movie afterwards. I was like, yeah, like people do. Yeah. And she said that Dad asked her what she thought. And she was like, I didn't really like it. I didn't like it at all, which I wanted to say, like, so y'all had probably been dating for like a while at that point, because I feel like if it was early on in the relationship, like she probably would have been like, oh, that's great. But I don't know. I know that that's what I would have done back when I cared about wooing people. But so she said that she was like, I didn't like it. And so Dad said, oh, can you get, like, you can't. Oh, so he said, oh,
I have heard this story about 2001 a bunch of times.
Oh,
and so Dad said, you just didn't understand it.
Well, maybe you just didn't understand it. And Mom should have said, fuck you. You pretentious fuck. Like, can we make a shirt that says, well, maybe you just didn't understand it? And then, like, it's like a quote, and then it says, all white men, or something. But anyways. So she's like, oh, well, maybe I didn't. And then she, like, proceeds to say what she thought it was about. And then he goes, well, then I guess you just don't like it.
Right.
And she said that it was, like, really boring.
Yeah.
Which isn't what she said about Brazil. I think that it was just, again, like the current political climate. So.
Right. She had a really hard time when the ICE guys showed up in Mrs. Buttle's apartment, which I also had a really hard time with. And I've never had a hard time with that scene before.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Which says a little bit of something about my humanity. But interesting thing here. Apparently conservatives really like this movie. Some conservatives really like this movie because they think that it shows the danger of bureaucracy and how big government is a problem and everything else. And I would like to find the people in that Venn diagram of conservative and likes Brazil and also doesn't understand why the rest of us are very concerned about ICE. And I would like them to rewatch this movie because between that scene and then the scene where he goes back and gives her the check, I was like, oh, this is real tough. Like, this is really tough. But at the same time, go ahead. Sorry. No, you want to say something? Go ahead.
I forgot it, so go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is why we interrupt each other all the time, because we both have ADHD and we'll forget if we don't say it right away. Sorry, it causes problems with editing and sound. Okay, so anyway, at the same time, so I'm watching it and I'm seeing all the bombings going on. I was like, I mean, I know when he made this movie, the IRA was bombing all the time. Like, and even when I was in London, like in 2000 and 2002 and 2004 and all those times, if you walk around London, it may be different now, but there are no trash. Like, you cannot find trash cans in London, which I thought it was so goofy that, like, in the movie, it was like they had all those trash cans. It was like, keep it tidy. And I was like, those don't exist. If this is supposed to be London, that is not realistic at all, because because if you put a trash can up, people will put a bomb in it. Right. And I thought he has to be making some kind of commentary about the IRA, but it's never like, you know, I was like a bit, so I like did a bunch of research to try to find it. Apparently there is a documentary about this. I did not watch the documentary, but in one of the versions of Criterion or something that has director's commentary, Terry Gilliam does say that he was bothered being an American and being in England. He was very bothered by the fact that there were bombings happening all the time. Citizens were being killed, maimed, and everybody just acted like it wasn't a big deal at all.
See, that's what bothered me more. Like the scene where the agents come in, which I did was like, is this where ICE agents are headed with, the whole suspension of the Fourth Amendment that they're trying to do?
I mean, they're there.
Well, I meant like literally like coming through the window, coming through the roof, kind of thing. And, being all, you've been invited to come down and talk to us. Like,
how great is it that you pay for your own interrogation? May I just say?
Oh, there are a lot of little things that I picked up that I don't think I picked up in because I think the last time I watched it was the first time I'd ever seen it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. You did not force me to watch this one for some reason.
No, I didn't see it until the 90s, possibly high school or college. And then I definitely watched it a couple times, like on DVD or VHS or whatever. And then I know I've seen it in the theater, which I would recommend if you ever have a chance to see Brazil, if you want to see it or see it again, try to see it in the theater.
Like, I would absolutely just implode. I mean,
the shots that are amazing look so good in a theater. Yeah. And apparently what he did was he used really wide angle lenses, but he used them on like close up in ways that you don't usually use them. And that's why those shots look like he was able to get something that would have looked like a fisheye in any other context, and he could make it not distort. And so that's the other thing too, right? Like, I mean, Gilliam is a very interesting director. Like, to me, everybody was like, this is like Munchausen and this is like Time Bandits, and that's all part of a trilogy. To me, this is much more like The Fisher King, which I have huge problems with. So,
I remember watching that with like mom and dad, but I vaguely, but I don't remember all that. But can I get back to the scene I was going to say that bothered me? The one where they're in the restaurant and the bomb goes off. And so that one bothered, and they just keep on eating and acting like nothing happened while people are like, oh,
and they put up the silk screen. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that one bothered me because it just was so, and so it's interesting that Terry Gilliam would say that that was kind of something that he picked up on with the IRA, because, I see it happening so much right now in our own country. So like with like mass shootings.
Yeah.
And school shootings, like how many happen that don't even go get on the news.
Yeah.
Right. But then also like, again, like, I know we're going to talk a lot about, we're talking a lot about ICE, but the fact that people really didn't get upset until white people got killed.
Yeah.
And so just like the absolute numbness that white people, especially, and middle-class white people in this country have to police violence or just general violence towards people of color.
Right.
Along with just like the gun violence and the absolute like, well, there's nothing we can do about it. The Second Amendment, our hands are tied, or we're just going to get on Facebook and bitch about it. Like that to me was like that's what I want to do. Like, I want to show people that scene, So that was very like, oh God.
I want to say something about not on the news. So this is potentially a controversial take, but you remember Malcolm Gladwell's book, I think it was Tipping Point. It got assigned to you in grad school, and I read it because you had it in the bathroom. So I would just read it when I was in the bathroom.
Where I do all my best reading. All my reading.
So he actually made an argument. So there was a thing where I can't remember what country it was, but like teenage boys kept committing suicide.
Mm.
And it was because they kept talking about the boys committing suicide. And when they quit covering it, the boys stopped doing it.
Mm.
So I remember several years ago, I think the Stars won the World Cup or whatever, not the World Cup, whatever the Stanley Cup, whatever the hockey thing is, they won. And they were really concerned that there might be violence because even when your team wins, somehow we just burst into spontaneous violence. And there was no news coverage of this at all, but we have a friend who often plays gigs in downtown Dallas, and he had played a gig and he was trying to leave and he couldn't leave because there was like SWAT up against a mob of people who were like looting and pillaging and like all this violence. And it was never on the news. And so part of it you think is, well, they're lying to us and they don't want us to know. And I mean, poor Dallas, like its reputation is shit anyway. But also now that I've read the Malcolm Gladwell book, I'm kind of like, is part of it like you don't want to perpetuate the violence by talking about the violence? Because it's not like, well, if we cover this mass shooting, that's going to be the thing that makes people stop. Like talking about it doesn't solve anything. And in some ways,
it's not the news so much as just the absolute lack of reaction.
Sure. Yeah. And the fact that we're fine with it, the fact that we all accept this as part of our reality and don't every single day go out and be like, what the fuck is going on? Why is this happening? Like, and I'm complicit in that. Like, we're all complicit in that, you know? Yeah.
I mean, and not just that, like so many things, like, even though now we're all mad,
right?
Again, we still accept it. Like you're right.
Yeah.
Every day
and I mean, I think it's like, I remember Beto O'Rourke, like he did a town hall after, where was it? How
you say his name?
Or is it Beto? It's Beto. Beto.
Okay.
Beto.
I thought it was me this whole time.
It's Beto. It's Beto.
I was like, I've been saying his name wrong.
No, that was me. I don't know why I said Beto. It's Beto O'Rourke. Anyway, he did a town hall after, I don't remember the name of the town, but it's the one out in West Texas near
Uvalde.
Yes, Uvalde. And he said fuck or fucking or something. And people were like clutching their goddamn pearls. And I'm like, they were identifying human children using DNA because they had been so badly massacred. There weren't body parts to use, not even parts of a body. Like they had to get down and get to tissue from a living fucking human child to figure out which child it was.
Yeah.
And the outrage is over the fact that a politician dropped the F-bomb. Like, we have the wrong expectations of our politicians. Like,
yeah.
No. And I remember, like, when the Minneapolis mayor said it, I was like, good for you. Yes. Show some real, actual fucking outrage, because this is outrageous. Like, we do not need to be just acting like we have to have this level of dialogue that's respectful and blah, 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 blah. When one side is absolutely and completely doing everything in their power to take and take and take and accept violence and accept that they know what they're doing is not constitutional and not in the interest of the people who voted for them, like, why do we have to be nice about it?
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. So, like, you know, I've streamed like Michelle Obama's documentary yesterday because, you know, the internet's like, do that. You know, and I like Michelle Obama. I have massive respect for her, but, you know, and she's so famous for saying, like, when they go low, go high, right? To me, that doesn't mean that you don't get to say fuck, right? Going high doesn't mean being dignified, right? Yeah. It doesn't mean these white supremacist ideas of decorum, right? That I know that our mother adheres to, again, just to keep crapping on mom, but you know, because I'm sure she hates it when these politicians do it, right? And like why a lot of people, you know, criticize Jasmine Crockett, you know, and not that I necessarily agree with everything about her, right? But it's like the trashiness or whatever, but it's like sometimes you can't say what needs to be said in a quote unquote dignified way. Right. Because what is happening and what you are talking about are not fucking dignified. And that goes back to this, because every conversation that is had in this movie is done in a very calm, dignified, proper British way.
Yeah.
And again, just to throw mom under the bus one more time, do you know what the reason she thought he made this movie?
Why?
She said that it was probably because of all of the South America violence happening and government corruption in South America in the 80s that was going on. And she was like, to me, right? And I was like, wrong daughter. I don't, no, wrong daughter. Like, I guess because I know about government and stuff, but I was like, I don't research films. Like, that's your other daughter. But yeah, I guess because it's called Brazil.
Oh, no, Mom, no.
No, I mean, maybe there was like a lot of like, I mean, there was like that one. What was the one with Reagan? That was Iran, but that had something to do with South America too. Like, I mean, yeah,
South America, the CIA was going in and setting up all these shitty governments and like encouraging, like military coups and stuff like that. But like Terry Gilliam was living in England. He was writing about England. Like Tom Stoppard wrote part of this.
He doesn't know that.
They're writing about English government. They're talking about ministries, which we don't have in America.
I know. But it's an interesting commentary on socialism, though. I mean, which is kind of like, where I think a lot of people like us, like-minded like us, want to go. So it does also kind of make you think about.
I wouldn't call that a socialist state, though. It's a totalitarian state.
Well, it is totalitarian, yeah.
Because the social
I guess that's like, I had a lot of questions. There are a lot of questions I have about this government, which are probably not the point.
Yes. But. And it's very much a like, oh, that's a cool idea. Oh, that's a cool idea. Oh, that's a cool idea. Like you can tell there's a lot of that in it.
Yeah.
And so the scene that you talked about in the restaurant, where there's the explosion and then they bring the screen and everything else. So there are 3 writers credited for this movie. And the writer that started writing it with Terry Gilliam, he actually apparently, so what happened was they had different ideas about the way the movie should go. And so they just parted ways. And then he brought in Tom Stoppard and they finished it together. But evidently where you can see that writer's influence the most is in the restaurant scene. Which is one of the better scenes it feels like a movie scene. Like there's a point to it.
Yeah.
There's action and dialogue. There's character exposition, those kinds of things. Like it feels the most like an actual like scripted scene of everything else that happens. So there's like a part of me that would be curious about like what it would be like. I will tell you the one thing as a writer that I was disappointed in was so where it would be more like an American government would be if there had been no terrorists at all and it'd just been the government setting off the bombs.
Oh, I wrote that down.
Yeah.
Because you don't actually know.
Well, you don't know except that you do because Robert De Niro goes and like, I mean,
does what?
He did something. He did. They set off bombs. They blew up that whole building.
But wasn't that as a fantasy part at the end where you realize
so was that so that's the other thing about
that's
this
my thing is like because then you think she has a bomb but she doesn't have a bomb and Robert De Niro is just fixing
her having a bomb was way before that.
I mean, I don't know, but like I really do wonder if it was just like I mean, like you don't know, right? But it's like but the fact is that you can see that and we know enough about how governments use fear and generate fear. Because I said the one thing about this movie that made it to where I could actually watch it, given, was they weren't using fear. I mean, I guess they were using fear of other people, but like the hate, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there wasn't hate mongering, and, but even the fear mongering.
Right.
Well, I know. I mean, yes, because everybody was white. But, one thing I wanted to say about the restaurant scene, just to add a moment of levity, the food that they were served.
Oh, no.
Well, I don't know if you get to say, oh, no, because that first plate that was put down looked like 3 mounds of that green Jell-o salad Grandma used to make that you love. Like 100%.
No, because they were like, this thing is this thing. And then they like processed it and served it to you. Like if someone served me a steak.
Well, no, obviously if they told you it was a steak and then it looked like green Jell-o salad, but still.
Did you not see that the picture menu, it looked like a steak?
Yes, I understand that. I'm just saying the 3 little piles of green Jell-o salad.
No, I was very upset about that food.
Yes, I was also.
It was just like, you feel like the people are just too lazy to chew or something. Like, I mean, it's obviously some kind of social commentary, but it's also open enough that it could be like, I can just make this mean whatever I want. I was going to say that maybe the thing that made this watchable for you was the prop business with the toast. He was trying to eat the toast, but it was only half done. So it was like flopping around.
I thought it was because it got wet.
Or because it got wet, whatever it was.
I did like, so it's interesting to me because like I did like, there was a lot of things that made me think of, but things that have come since then.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I definitely was like Pee-wee's Big Adventure and, you know, Back to the Future with the whole like electronic robots making breakfast and kind of fucking it up.
I think these both came out in 85.
What? That's what I'm saying.
No. I think they both came out at the same time.
Well, okay, but anyways, they weren't copying that. So it was like obviously very something that was going on in the like cultural, you know, whatever idea, hearts and minds of the people making movies at the time. But and then like one of the dream sequences where like the buildings start shooting up out of the ground.
Yeah.
Another way I have wasted time lately is helping Elliot learn how to play Minecraft.
Okay.
And it was just like Minecraft, like those buildings like shooting up made me think of Minecraft world. But even like the beginning, like scene where that first bomb goes off made me think of, I remember watching Children of Men and how like shocking and startling it is. Cause in the first, you know, he's like getting a coffee, he walks out and then there's a fucking bomb. Yeah. Right. So it was just interesting. I was like, oh, I guess that wasn't original.
No, I mean, there's definitely a ton of movies that have like, I don't want to get into how many movies.
No, that's fine. But yeah.
I will say in fun notes, when they get into the ministry and there's all the guys in their gray flannel suits and they're all moving around the floor. And then there's the younger guys who are wearing the beautiful colored sweater vests and slutty little glasses. Like the stairs are gray and the like fucking whatever are gray, the tubes are gray and the nail things are gray and the floor is gray and the suits are gray and the doors are gray and everything else is gray. And then
whole lot of gray
English boys in lovely jumpers and slutty little glasses that made me really happy. That's what our QT has now.
The convenience store? What do they have?
A robot that cleans the floor.
Oh, yeah. That's fun. There's a lot of creepy ass robots in there.
Would you like to hear a real life robot story that's kind of funny?
Sure.
So did you ever see the episodes of Big Bang Theory where Sheldon had the robot going for him for whatever reason?
Like going to work for him?
Yeah.
Yeah, vaguely, yeah.
Okay, so it's like 2 wheels and then a long stick and then like an iPad on top, right?
Yeah.
So we got one of those back when I worked in IT to test for something because they like to get toys and play with them. And that was when I was running our student advisory committee. So the student advisory committee, we were all there in the CIO's office, sitting around the conference table. And Dennis decided that he was going to attend as the robot. So he's at home controlling the robot. So you, as the person who's the robot, can decide how close you get to someone, but you can't actually. You're not in the physical space, right? So you can't see. So you can be real creepy. So it kept getting closer and closer and closer to the chair. She was like. Finally, I picked him up and I put him across the room. It's like, stay over there. One of the things that this movie really explores, that it makes me wonder if Tom Stoppard put it in, or who got it, like where did it come from, that the toxicity of bosses, like how much your happiness at work depends on who your boss is and their relationship with you. Like, it makes me sad how true that is. Like, there's a new, I don't know if it just keeps getting advertised to me because of me, but I keep seeing things on Instagram by a woman who's written a book called I Don't Want a Job. No, I don't want a job.
I would say that's the algorithms at work, my friend.
Probably. The algorithm going, you could have written this book, you dumb bitch. Did you think it would be nice to go on a top security holiday camp?
Oh my God, like the little things everywhere. Like the sign in the boss's office, suspicion breeds confidence, everywhere. Like I never noticed that before. Like the Ministry of Intelligence on, like the fucking Goldfish Bowl had MOI on it, right? So like that to me is fun from like a bureaucracy, you know, like in the same way that like the Loki series with the Ministry of Time or whatever it was called, is fun. You know, those little things in there that I'd never seen before, you know, like, but oh my God, yeah, like I don't know. And then the boss, and just like the commentary on how bureaucrats can have these government jobs where they don't actually do anything or have any skill or even know how to do things, like when he gets the promotion, but like his boss, right, who's just like, I can't do anything. Which at one point I was like, is he just throwing him under the bus when he's like, my hand, like I don't want this to come back on me.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yeah, that's toxicity of bosses. Yes.
Yeah. And then just like who, like I don't know, and I know doesn't matter, but I'm just like, who is in charge? Like who ultimately is in charge?
I think
maybe that was like an intentional thing.
That's where the point of it. I think it's like there was I don't remember what the series. There was an anthology sci-fi series that was on Prime. And there was an episode that Janelle Monáe was in. And basically it was like a critique of Amazon. And a spoiler, by the way, if you haven't seen this, but there's like the factory, and the factory just keeps sending you stuff. And they're like, who runs the factory? And like, they finally get to the factory and they realize that like nothing, it's just it's all automated. Like nobody's running it. Like it's ruining their lives and there's no one in charge.
Like when the system gets so big, right. And then everything is so, you know, like the details and the papers and the forms and the, you know what I mean? That it's just like, and everyone is following the rule. Oh, and then it's just like, I'm going too deep. Okay, stop. Like we all, it's just blind. Like everybody just does it blindly, thinking that there's like the great and powerful laws, like pay no attention to that man behind the corner. But like, who is even in charge? Like who is giving the orders and where are they getting their orders from? And nobody knows. And it's, which I mean, is like, I mean, I guess that bleeds complacency, but I don't know.
So I will say, not only was the arrival of the ICE officers in Mrs. Buttle's apartment much more disturbing than it ever had been before, the scene with Mrs. Buttle where he comes to give her the check was devastating to me. Where it's like bureaucracy can't handle humanity. It can't, and it can't fathom trauma, you know? Yeah. Where it's like, you know, he's just kind of giving her these little polite rejoinders. And she's just like, what have you done with this body? Like, just, I mean, it's like they just came in and blew a hole in her life. And no one care. They're, oh, well, it's regrettable and mistakes were made. But it's like there's such a disconnect from humanity when it's just everybody's part of this great big machine. And I thought, for just some random actress, I don't know, I didn't look her up. I don't know. I mean, I just felt like she gave such a gravitas that this movie would be much poorer without it,
Yeah.
And then I wonder why I don't know if it's because now I've done EMDR therapy, so I'm much more in touch with my emotions, and that's why I really felt it this time. Or if it was, the reality of like, oh, fuck, this is where we are. Like, I'm actually living this now. It is terrifying and horrible and everything else.
Well, it's just so interesting because, like, it's hard because, you want to like whatever his name is, the main character, but he does have like such a lack of humanity and compassion. And, the only emotion you see from him is basically lust.
Right.
That they try to play off as love. Like the only reason he cares about that girl or woman is because he wants to fuck her.
Right. He had a fantasy about her. Yeah.
He had a fantasy about her. He's calling it love because he doesn't want to feel like a piece of shit. But it's just lust.
Right.
And that's the only real emotion that you get from him other than like whatever, later on. I think
that's also why, they wanted the Hollywood ending, the true love last ending and all of that. And I'm kind of fine with the ending that it has because basically it's like he doesn't want to get the promotion. And the only reason he does is because he thinks then he can find information about her, right? So she's like the driving thing in the story. Yeah. And then her character is like completely unresolved. Like evidently Terry Gilliam did not like her performance, which
she didn't ever do anything else. So I don't think she was a very good actress.
Well, no, she did other stuff.
I mean, she did other stuff.
She wasn't as big as in this, but I wonder too, like, I don't want to say anything, but I always wonder if perhaps casting her might have something to do with fantasy and that perhaps the reality was not what was expected and it became like a Tippi Hedren situation where maybe somebody didn't respond to advances in a way that someone might have liked or
gotcha.
But honestly, you could just cut her out of this movie and it wouldn't matter. Which is not her fault. That is bad writing. That is like, that should not be true.
They were all such a boys' club, very much.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it's like you have a hard time. It's like you can't identify with him or his struggles because it's like, okay, well, his mom is rich.
Yeah.
Oh, and yet he's annoyed by her and he's annoyed by trying to be set up with this other girl. And I totally appreciated the fact that she was like, I don't like you either.
I know. She was great. She was great. When the person walked past her, speaking of props and hands, she was like, oh,
yeah.
Her whole, she was amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just.
Yeah, I wrote about it's frustrating that the love interest is basically naked and trapped in a cage when in reality she's actually spiky and a badass. That was the thing that I love, where she was like, you do not touch me. All of that was fine. And then all of a sudden she's like, I'm in love with you too and let's have sex. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Why? I mean, other than it was the 80s, and apparently in the 80s, people just fell in love in movies for no reason at all. But, you got Tom Stoppard there. Try a little harder. I don't know. It just drove me crazy. So I would like to pose a question.
Okay.
Do you find Jonathan Pryce to be cuter in his Sting/David Bowie situation with the spiky hair and the makeup, or in his little gray suit?
I also was like, his fantasy is to be David Bowie. In my notes. Which one do you think I would answer?
I don't know.
Really?
Which one do you think I would answer?
David Bowie.
Mine is gray suit.
Mine's a gray suit too.
Yay! He was so much cuter in his little gray suit.
He was at one point when she was like, "Let me look at you," and he actually kind of looks like Matthew McFadden.
There's only like 6 types of British guys.
Well, yeah, no, I know, but it was like very similar. Like even when I was like, could he be his dad or an uncle? I didn't look it up. So, but yeah, no, very much. So like basically once those fucking puppets showed up, anytime there was a fantasy, I just started fast forwarding.
Yeah. So to me, I think it's around the time that he goes to the 30th floor and he has his promotion and he can hear the guys following the one guy around, but he can't see them and he's trying to like catch up to them. Yeah. I feel like that's the point where you can no longer tell whether you're in reality or fantasy. Like from that point forward, it's really hard to tell.
It's so ridiculous.
Right. I mean, it's just weird. That is also where you get to see the wonderful poster, "Don't suspect a friend, report him." And also the yes/no decision maker. Can I tell you?
Oh my God, I want one of those.
Yeah, my toxic boss, who also has my former boss, with whom I had a toxic working relationship, had ADHD, and she needed one of those so badly. Like, just fucking pick one. Like,
yeah, I want it for students though. I want it for when students come up to ask me questions. Like, just drop the thing and see where it lands. Whatever it is, I don't care. Don't ask me the question.
I think also one of the most harrowing things in this movie that has a lot of very memorable visuals in it is that one little drop of blood on the floor outside of Michael Palin's office. Like, that was really that. And I don't think you should bring your daughter to work if your work is torture. Like, I don't.
Yeah. I mean, even if she, like, also the fact that he couldn't remember his daughter's name. And then the whole creepy thing where she's like, "I want to see your Willie." Like, that was an unnecessary thing that needs to get cut out. Like, that whole thing was real fucked up.
And then did you notice at the end when he had like his tray of torture implements, one of them was the ball that she had been playing with?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What do you do with... I don't want to know. Okay.
It was unsettling. I was not.
Speaking of capitalism.
Yes.
Consumers for Christ.
Consumers for Christ.
What do you want for Christmas, little girl? My own credit card.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And then...
Yes.
Don't hold out too long. You'll jeopardize your credit rating. When they're locking him up and getting ready for investigation. So, like, I honestly wish that they would have played up the capitalism role more. Because
it's a long movie. There's a lot going on. They're trying to make way too many points.
What are the gifts they keep giving to each other? Like, what are those? What is it? What is it?
I don't know. But what I did like was that literally it was like, here is a box of 30 gifts that all look exactly the same. So like, it doesn't matter. It's more just like, oh yes, you're in my life, so I'm going to give you this gift. Yes. But it's not, they don't have personal connections with each other, right? Like,
but I mean, that doesn't is subtle, because like that is the theme. Like, are you buying a gift for your mom? Oh, she's here because her mom took the other kids to go buy Christmas shopping. And like, there's all this like Christmas shopping is like a theme throughout, right? And so So I think at the end you bring that in some, you know, and then when what's her face had the box and she's like, and it's like more of those packages.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's bribes.
Right.
And I'm like, what's in the box?
I don't know, but can I tell you, I think that we may be in a place in our version of capitalism. I don't know if you caught this when they were at dinner, but they were talking. And they talked about, let me see if I can find it, being able to buy medical tokens.
Well, and that's what I'm talking about. Like with like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the government obviously runs everything, because that's why Robert De Niro is like a rogue eating and AC guy, HVAC guy, whatever.
But they don't run everything because I think the plastic surgeons and stuff are separate. Like, I think they're still private.
Yeah, but again, socialism, right? Because if you can afford this, you can do this, right? What's the duct work too? Like, what is that?
Yeah, I kind of looked that up because I wondered if there was I think part of it was just supposed to be like the visibility of the overbearingness of the government and the, like the state watching you and being present all the time.
Okay, because I was like, I know the boss at one point kind of acted like the duct was listening.
Yes, yeah, they do listen. So I found an article on sci-fi.com by Brian Silliman. And he says the movie is filled with tubes everywhere, tubes akimbo, tubes, pipes, cramped spaces, and more tubes. Neo-analog technology has run amok, and unless we're not looking in the right places, that's not the norm for us in 2023. When he wrote this, we don't primarily use tiny screens that we're only able to see because we put more screens in front of it. So he continues, we may not see the tubes, they're there. If Wi-Fi signals and connections were visible, then it would be all tubes all the time. Tubes, wires, and pipes that we cannot see keep us connected to all kinds of crap that we don't need. What else are these invisible connections doing? Not even the Department of Information knows everything.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really interesting way to think of it. Like the tubes being this physical manifestation of an overbearing system or systems of oppression. Although pneumatic tubes, I do love a pneumatic tube. I love when you manage to blow the one up. And there is a version of reality, Ryan Davis, where somehow you got into pie making while you were still here in Denton with me. And we both had been medicated for ADHD. And we took over the empty DATCU on university. And we used the pneumatic tubes
to deliver pies.
To deliver pies.
I love it. Did you watch the video I sent you? One of the bartending note videos I sent you that had used a pneumatic tube to shake a cocktail?
Yes, I did see that.
Fucking bullshit.
What's really annoying about that is it doesn't even look like AI slop. Like, I feel like that's an actual real thing.
Oh, no, it's real. Like, it's a real bar in Louisville, apparently.
Yeah. That sounds really stupid.
Like, no, stop it. Stop.
Speaking of how terrible romantic love is in this movie, I think that as there is the Bechdel test, there should be a Brazil test for the romantic love in a movie, if it is more or less realistic than Brazil. And if it is the same or worse than Brazil, then it just gets a terrible rating. Like, I could not handle it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sitting here trying to think of other movies with extremely unrealistic love. Like
all of the movies that we watched from the 80s.
Oh, I can't remember what it was. It was a Jude Law movie, and every time they kissed, it played that like "I wanna smile," And you were like,
"Music from Another Room," I think.
Yes, and you were like, "That's hell." Is that a beautiful man wants to kiss you, but every time you touch him, it starts playing that song. But like that movie was just, there's so many.
So one example that we've covered on the podcast before of implausible couples, Mannequin. Remember, she was freaking awesome. And he was lame as shit.
Yeah.
Like,
very much. I think any love where they fall in love at first sight and then they're like getting together in a very short amount of time and like spending the rest of their lives together. That is absolute.
Yeah.
Falsity.
I do love all the Art Deco in the movie. I mean, most of it looks terrible and horrible, and I'd never want to live there, and it just looks like a fucking nightmare. But like his mother's apartment was really beautiful, except for the tiger skin.
Except for the fucking tubes.
And the tubes. But I mean, of all the tubes, they were very lovely tubes compared to.
Are we going to talk about the plastic surgery anymore? Moisture.
What interesting thing would you like to say? I love the end of the poor woman with the acid who was like just slides out of the coffin and like eviscerated matter. Like, god damn.
Well, I mean, I guess it takes me back to another conversation so another way I wasted time this week was that I went over to Megan and Troy's twice for snow day, but Megan was working and Troy wasn't. So I actually got to have a lot of conversations with Troy, which was nice because we, have been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
But don't always get to really talk with each other. But we were talking about somehow, he's the one that told me about the Super Bowl commercial that I lost my mind about.
Oh, yeah.
And that is so that just kind of set me off on like a conversation about the links people will go to not look a certain way. Right. Yeah. And like this kind of, I think this follows that same logic. Is it like the damage people will do to themselves in the pursuit of beauty, quote unquote, right? Because I don't know if you've seen any of the like before and after, like with the whole Mar-a-Lago look, like what a lot of these women especially looked like before. But like Kristi Noem is like, I don't like, that's not the same person when you see her before picture. It's just like so different, So I guess that's like the takeaway for me. And I guess with the mom, it really kind of plays into the whole like lust, right?
Yeah.
Because she wasn't doing it, like she was doing it to like get young dick.
Get young guys, yeah.
Yeah. Because that was like, even though she's rich and apparently doesn't work and all of that, like her life was being lusted after, right? So don't like the way women are portrayed in this movie at all.
Oh yeah, don't watch any Terry Gilliam movie if you want to see women portrayed. Avoid it altogether. It's not a good thing. I honestly feel like part of what makes Terry Gilliam hard to watch and stomach overall is that I think ultimately he doesn't believe in humanity. I think he really
struggle with this because I feel like more and more, because I always fight to say that because like in teaching government and like this philosophical idea that all humans deep down are basically terrible, and without government to restrain us, we will just be terrible to each other. And I don't know if it is like some romanticized view of humanity, but I find it, I fight so hard against believing that. Like, I do think, actually had a student come up and try to have this conversation with me a few weeks ago or something, that I think that there is a certain level, like he was asking about morality. Like, do we have is there universally or like an innate level of morality? And I'm like, I have to believe that there is some there is some level of humanity.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I don't, and it's so hard, like, I don't know. What do you think? Like,
I think that individual people are good. I think people en masse are horrible. And I'll give you an example. Last night, and again, this is one of those things that's like, is it a conspiracy or is it a true thing? I don't know. But somebody was saying, I've read somewhere on the internet, that basically the reason that conservatives don't want women to have abortions is because a lot of those kids end up in foster care, and the foster care to sex trafficking pipeline is real easy compared to other places. And I said that, and then I was petting Sky, the dog, and I was like, and that's why the earth can just come and swallow us up whole. Think about the brutality, like, because we're so creative and imaginative. Like, it's not like tigers, right? Let's say tigers get into a fight with each other. they kidnap the one baby tiger cub and then take him away so that they can give it to the baboon and torture like maybe they kill each other and they don't play with each other while they're, like, I'm going to kill you a little bit and then I'll wait around a little bit and then I'm going to kill you.
Cats do that with birds.
Oh, cats are 100% evil. I don't understand how you became a cat person. It's very fucked up. It's extremely disturbing to me.
Here's the thing. I have 2 cats. I only like one of them. Like, I don't think I'm a cat person. I just think I like Cricket a whole lot. And he is an amazingly good cat.
He is a pretty good cat.
He has never, he kills things. I have never seen him taunt and play with things. Right. Like, again, I don't know, but he's never brought anything into like the kitten used to bring birds into the house and torture them for 40 minutes.
Biologically, cat sex is always rape because of the way the cats are built. Their penises go the wrong way.
He can't rape anyone. He doesn't have a penis or balls or whatever. I don't know. He has a penis because he has to pee, but right. So I'm not a cat person. I just really love Cricket.
Yeah. I feel like the first half of this movie flies really fast and then it becomes turgid and the romance sucks. But do you know who the real romantic couple is in this movie?
Mario and Luigi?
No, but had I seen this movie when it came out, I mean, I was 7, so probably good that I didn't. I was messed up enough from some of the other things I walked in on and watched. I would have known that Bob Hoskins was British because, Roger Rabbit came out 3 years later, so I would have already known he was British. But I think that the real romance is between Jonathan Pryce and Robert De Niro. They come and meet, they have a meet cute, and then they save each other.
Yeah. Well, and I guess too, things with Robert De Niro. So that's when you say that Terry Gilliam doesn't believe in humanity, or you suspect, you're Robert De Niro being we're all in this together. Yeah.
That was a play on the government's line. I don't know if you saw that, but a couple of times they had a big thing and it was the government's line was we're all in this together.
Oh, okay. So he's we're all in this together. Right. When people are are we great yet? Okay, well.
Yeah. And then
still, in a way, he's I'm going to come fix your shit and I'm not going to, you don't have to pay me or anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, no, I can see that. I mean, bromance, the type of men that make movies like this is very much about the bromance, which totally reminds me of another way that I wasted time after I watched this movie. Oh
my God, did you fall in love with somebody?
No, I did not fall in love with someone. The absolute opposite. Oh. I was okay, well, I unfortunately did watch this movie later in the evening. So now I need to watch something else because no way I'm going straight to bed after that.
Right.
So I was I'll watch the fucking hockey movie. Heated Rivalries.
Oh, the show, not the movie, but yeah.
The show, whatever, the show. Okay, I have a public service announcement to all of the women, straight, mom, women, the middle-aged, whatever demographic, been losing their shit about this movie, this show. And I know that it's moms because every commercial was for laundry detergent that are losing their minds about this show. It's okay for you to watch gay porn. Because this show is fucking terrible. It's terrible. The story is terrible. The acting is terrible. It is fucking terrible.
Why are you always hating on female pleasure? I'm
not hating on female pleasure. I'm just saying, you don't have to, be ashamed.
Also, why do you think gay porn is any better acted or written?
I don't think it is. I'm just saying, don't hide behind, it was a book.
Yeah, but
it's a television series on HBO, so it's not porn. I'm not gross or nasty.
I don't think it's wanting to watch porn. I think there's romance in it. And there's longing in it. And there's other pieces of that's what women want. It's not, porn is just sex. I mean, yes, there is some good ethical porn, blah, 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 blah. But particularly gay male porn is just going to be like, and fuck, and then fuck again, and then fuck again. Like, there's not going to be any jokes. There's not going to be any real conflict. There's not going to be any longing looks. Like, none of that shit's going to happen. And if I'm somehow wrong about gay porn, please let me know. But
have you watched the Heated Rivalry?
No, because I know it's going to be terrible. So I prefer to live through the memes.
That's what I'm saying. It's not. It doesn't have all these things that you say women want, which is what. So I'm not saying like it got made. I'm just saying these women, like people are losing their minds about this. And I'm like, the only thing of quality that I see in this is the fucking hot sex scenes between two sexy dudes. Like, everything else is shitty.
I think what you're trying to say is, women, we know that you really enjoy the hot sex scenes between these hot dudes. You don't have to pretend that you're watching it for any other reason.
That is what I was trying to say.
Okay. So don't be ashamed of things that give you pleasure, women.
Yes, that is, thank you. That's why there's two of us on this podcast. You're my editor. If I ever run for office, you are definitely going to have to be my campaign.
Running for office. Not to once again pull in John Mulaney, but going back to the other, you can't even drop an F-bomb if you are a politician. A whole lot of people would have to get a whole lot cooler about a whole lot of things before you or I could ever run for office. Like,
hey, when people have asked me when I'm running for office, which has happened, that has been my reaction, is like, I would have to scrub so much history from social media before I could ever run for office. Or,
just the fact that we're atheists. Like, I mean, we're never going to get above local. You can't run state.
I mean, obviously local. Like, I'm not like, I'm going to be in Congress. Like, no. Like, I mean, like, school board, city council. Like, that's the limits of my running for office. I think you should
run for city council just so they can go through all your social media, because it would be highly entertaining. And we might pick up some more listeners, so that'd be great. My final question. Let me tell the mom story real fast now that the motorcycle went away. So, really struggling, trying to figure out, like, okay, we're paying $5,000 extra a month to have Eddie in this place with the better food. And they made all these promises about how they're going to keep him entertained and all this shit, move him in. None of those things are true. It's just the old ladies dying watching Little House on the Prairie, right? Which, I mean, I'd be dying too. That show is fucking terrible. And so I've had to keep going over there more and more and more, just like I was before. So this is not leading to me having a job, because then Eddie's still my job, right? So I had to, like, put on my big girl panties and, like, reach out to the memory care director and be like, hey, this isn't cool. What can we do? And then I was given assurances of, like, give us 2 weeks and we're going to retrain and we're going to put a new lead in there and all this other shit. So, like, I'm having to, like, go back to the old place and see if I can buy 2 weeks from them just to hold the room in case I have to move him back and all this, doing all this stuff, right? And I'm talking to Karen and Jay about it, Eddie's friends, and they're like, be rude, but, like, why can't Eddie just live with you?
Mom talked to me about this today too.
Like, he doesn't sleep and he can't entertain himself. Yeah. And also, it's not my house. It's not my choice. And the person whose house it is and whose choice it is emphatically does not want him there, which, when I mentioned this to Mom, then she was like, yeah, we can't leave him alone and him be safe. And I'm like, okay, that's actually a better argument than what I said.
That is her. Yeah. Like, that's her reasoning, is like,
I mean,
okay, I know. But
why do moms watch Heated Rivalry? So then I was like, well, why? I said, well, I think she really resents how much I'm helping him. And there's a lot of history behind that with my dad and their dad and, like, a whole lot of stuff. And Jay goes, well, couldn't you just kind of sit down and talk to her and, like, talk through the resentment? It's like, I mean, I know that's years of therapy talking. And I was like, okay, let's back up. So,
we can, but then she's just going to drink and forget the whole conversation.
I'm going to tell you one story about my mother so that you can understand why I can never rationalize with my mother. My mother's birth name is Bertha. That is...
You just put her on blast in the whole world, Heather Davis.
Whole world. 45 countries and territories at this point.
The actor's going to love that one.
He knows it. She's never gone by that. Her whole childhood, she's gone by her middle name. She has gone by her middle name her entire life. This woman hates paperwork, hates bureaucracy, has ADHD like a motherfucker. Got married, bothered to go and legally change her last name. At which point she could have also legally changed her first name so that she doesn't have to have a passport with Bertha on it, or a driver's license with Bertha on it, or checks with B. on it. She could have done all of that. And I asked why one time she didn't. And she said, I didn't want my dad to find out because it might hurt his feelings.
Absolutely knew that was the reason. Yeah.
You lied to him about finishing college. You lied to him about finishing college, which you never did.
Yes.
You couldn't lie about your driver's license? Like,
how would he know? Yeah. I remember, do you remember when she first started working for Weight Watchers and like she fought so hard because they had her name in the system as Bertha?
Yes.
And I understand that because like when people, you know, like knew her as Elaine, so then they were like, what meetings do you, whatever, like.
Yes. And nobody's going to go to a goddamn Weight Watchers meeting with a leader called Bertha. Fuck.
I would. I still remember going to some shitty putt-putt place in Denton. And they had like a little arcade, and one of the games they had was like one where you like throw balls into a thing. And it was a woman with her mouth open, and she had a big polka dot dress on that would like inflate, and it was like Feed Big Bertha. And you would throw the balls and her dress would like inflate and she would get better. Like, what hurt his feeling? But that's like her dad. Like, that's a whole other level of life.
No. So then I said, let me tell you about her dad. This is the follow-on story. Because, of course, we heard our whole lives how great this man was. But he was fine. Whatever. He didn't like us that much because he took us fishing and we have ADHD and we couldn't shut the fuck up. Then, you know, he got a grandson after the two of us. So that was fine. And, you know, it was fine.
We talk too much. Fucking mouthy women.
You're staring at the fish. Like, it's so boring. Sitting here doing nothing is so boring. Anyway, she worshiped this man. And then she tells me about how when she was in elementary school.
Oh, she'd have to go sit in the basement.
She had to sit in the dark basement at the top of the stairs. And she was terrified because he went to work early. And it took months before my grandmother noticed something was wrong and then was like, what is wrong with you? And then found out what was happening and told him, no, she's going to sit in your office until the school opens. And then she can go over to the school. She's not going to sit in a dark building by herself at the top of the stairs in the dark. Like, what the fuck? And she still thinks this man shits gold and is Atticus Finch in real life. Like,
because he paid so much attention to her when she was the young and was the only child and taught her how to read. And, you know, but then as soon as he got a son.
Well, I mean, he probably still paid attention to her. Gary sucks. But, like,
I mean, at least we found out pretty early on that Dad was a piece of shit. We didn't have to
kidding.
It took me longer, but I came to reckon with it.
That's fine. We still loved him, but it's not like we go around being like, well, you know, he's just so great and wonderful and whatever. Like, no, we're fucking honest.
Yes, we do, Heather.
Like, we live in reality.
Finding things to, like, I can't believe his wake memorial wasn't 5 hours long with all the amazing things we had to say about him.
I will tell you this, though. Multiple people from different walks of my life have told me how much they admired that service. So I will say, even Hector said it to me, and like he was not kidding. Like he thought we did a really good job of like honoring Dad, which I was like,
that was all you did. I'll give you the props for that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, like, yeah, we're fucking bitches, but like we know how to do it. We know when to put a little piece of tape over the dog's butt, like they did in this movie. We know, sure, they're torturing people, making them pay for it. But
yeah, we know how close to get to the line, and we know when to stop before we go over it. For most people, some people we still went over the line, but whatever, they can deal. And that's what gets me, like, you know. And again, going back to this thing about the honesty thing, is like, if nothing else, like one thing I admire about or like about our family, like the three of us now, is that we've all, like, for a very long time as adults, since we've been adults, it's been very honest with each other, right? I mean, and that's kind of the whole philosophy behind I love you, but is like, I love you, and so therefore I'm going to be honest with you. And it makes me sad because I just don't think you know what I mean? Like I see that happening with like Ben and his family, you know, like there's just such a lack of like honestness, and it ends the relationships. Right.
Right.
So, you know, thanks for letting me be able to tell you what I really think of you. No. I'm kidding.
We podcast about it. Oh, Lord.
Well, but like the thing is, like, we're not so worried about hurting each other's feelings, right?
No, we've already done that.
We've already done that, right? Exactly. Like we've done that enough with our honesty, and sometimes not in nice ways. I think now we are better about being.
Yeah, I mean, when we were kids, like hurt each other's feelings all the time when we were kids. Like, we're done with that now.
Yes. Now we send each other text messages like, "I don't want you to take this the wrong way." But it's like, what? Do I want to not hurt your feelings, or do I want, you know, it's like saying like somebody has a drug problem and you're like, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to hurt their feelings. Like,
right.
And not that we need to tell each other how to live our lives, but, you know, and I think it's, you know, anyways, I'll stop now. So, but yeah.
I cut all that out. Hey, I have one last question about Brazil.
Mm-hmm. Why is it called Brazil?
No, I know why it's called Brazil. When do you think I'll have that song out of my head?
Which song?
Brazil.
Oh, I don't know, but don't get stuck in my head. Fuck that shit.
Oh, it hasn't.
I want you to stop thinking about this movie as soon as humanly possible after ending this call. But at the same time, I also really want my students to watch it.
Oh, the beauty of challenging cinema.
I know, like after the AP test, because I think it would be funny too, because if I make them watch it, and then every time the puppets come on, I'm like, no. Like, it would be.
I just
like
remember being in my like algebra class in college, standing outside before the door was open, and some random chick being like, oh my God, I saw this movie called Trainspotting, and it was like the most fucked up movie I've ever seen. I just wanted to like write her a list. Like, funny.
It's pretty fucked up though. Like, come on. Like,
yeah, but it has a narrative that makes sense.
Well, yes. Yeah. No, I understand. So,
like, let's watch some Boonwell. Like, you think this is fucked up? This is nothing.
Okay, where are we go? Like, it's just so funny. That's what I told Mom, was like, this whole series, you're like, and we're going to watch this silly movie, and we're going to watch this silly movie, and we're going to watch this silly movie, and then we're going to watch Brazil. So where are we going next? Where are we headed?
Thank you. That's it for this episode of I Love You But. Join us next week when we discuss the secret, not advertised, final in our series of capitalism, vintage capitalism.
Oh, Jesus Christ, we're not done yet?
We have one more.
Okay.
I Heart Huckabees.
No. Okay. I haven't seen that since it came out, and we watched it and got
It's my
mildly
Valentine's Day
obsessed.
present to you.
Oh, can I return it?
No. Next year I'll get you some medical tokens and put them in a shiny box.
Oh, please do. I'm gonna need them.
Hey, what made you laugh? What made you cringe? What did we forget? If you came here as a hardcore Terry Gilliam fan and big Brazil promoter / film bro, sorry.
I don't think any film bros listen. They listen to 10 minutes of one episode and they're like, nope.
If for some reason y'all haven't figured it out yet, we have 0 sacred cows. Like, we take nothing seriously.
No.
Yeah. But hey, we're wrapping up the capitalism thing. So if you have a new idea for us or just a movie you'd love to hear our take on it, let us know. We want to hear your thoughts.
Troy brought up one that I forgot that we talked about that he said he loved that we should do.
I don't want to hear it. I want Troy to go on to our social media and follow us, and then he can tell us, and then we will do it. Yep. That's right. We want to know your thoughts. The following ways. Find us on Instagram and Threads at iloveyoubutpod, or email us at iloveyoubutpod@gmail.com. Listener emails and comments may turn up in future episodes, and maybe we'll watch the thing you said to watch or do the theme that you said. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe, follow, do all the things for this wonderful podcast, I Love You But, wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Heather.
I'm Ryan, and we wish you lots and lots of conditional love.